Hey, are you someone that loves to read or wants to write a book? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to Soulful Liberation's Author Talk. This is a series dedicated to uplifting authors who are brave enough to share their journeys of trauma, healing, and success. I am your host, Ángela Quijada-Banks, and I am the author of The Black Foster Youth Handbook, 50 plus lessons I learned to successfully age out of foster care and holistically heal. And on today's episode, we have Dr. Deshunna Ricks, who's the author of I Am Valuable. Dr. Ricks, please let us know who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Deshunna Monay Ricks, and I am the CEO and owner of I Am Valuable. It is a nonprofit who seeks to help teens discover who they are through holistic wellness activities. And I am also a recent children's book author, and the title of my book is I Am Valuable. And I Am Valuable is about a true story about my experience in foster care as a child. So I am going to tell you just a little bit about the book and my motivation and inspiration for the book, and give you all some encouragement by the end of the story. My favorite part about writing the book is knowing that this story is not just a single story that I have. It is a story shared by many children that I work with. I am a school counselor in West Fresno, and there are many children who have experienced hardships, have experienced adversity and obstacles during their lifetimes. And so this story, my favorite part was just knowing that my story is also similar to other stories, and people will see themselves in my stories and be able to be encouraged and inspired. My worst part about writing the book, I think it was knowing that I was going to cry. I really don't like to cry. And so knowing that I was going to put some things that were traumatizing to me in the book, and just writing it and reflecting over, how far I've come since I was a child, and, shedding some tears. I really don't, as I said, like to cry, but that's probably the worst part about writing it, just revisiting the past. But it has been an amazing journey. It is important for young people to know that they are valuable, because we live in a world where there are so many negative influences. There are so many people who tell us how to look and who to be and who we are. But it's important for young people to know who they are starting at a young age, so we won't be pulled in any direction about the things that look good to us. Some things that look good are really, really bad for us. And so knowing your worth, knowing that you are priceless, knowing that you can't be bought with foolishness and evilness is something that is really important, that I want children and teens to know, to just love on yourselves. That's the first key thing, and knowing your value is to explore who you are, the ins and outs, the goods, the bad, the things you like about yourself, the things you don't like about yourself, so that you can make plans for changes to be your best self. And so when children know that they are valuable, they walk with their heads up high. They walk with confidence. They walk with self-worth. They walk knowing that even though, things may happen in their lives, that it does not define who they are, and they can be whatever they put the effort into being. So knowing who you are is very important. to your current self and to your future self. And so this is why I wrote the book, so that children will grow up knowing that they are valuable, so they will not be lost and broken in this cold world that we live in. For someone who may be listening and you might be thinking, well, I don't love myself. I don't think that I'm a good person, or I'm not worth anything. I want you to make sure that you block all those negative messages, right? The more we think negative, the more we will act negative towards ourselves and towards others. So the things that we believe about ourselves, it matters. So one thing that you can do, if that is you, that you don't believe that you have worth or value, you can start by believing in yourself, writing down a list of all the positive things about you, your qualities, what you're good at, what you like to do, and think of those things. Another thing that you can do is say daily affirmations. I have affirmations that are in the book that you can say, or you can make up your own affirmations. Another thing that you can do is surround yourself with positive people. It is very important that we are attaching ourselves to healthy things and to healthy people, because it matters to our wellness. It matters to our well-being. It matters to our confidence. It matters to our self-worth. And so if you have people that are in your life that care about you, lean and depend on them, because they will be able to guide you to places where you thought that, those doors were closed. They will be able to help you open up your eyes to be optimistic to new possibilities. And so loving yourself is the first thing, and accepting who you are. You might be tall, you might be short, you might be a little overweight, you might be skinny, you might have big lips like me, you might have a big nose like me, you might not have a lot of hair like I do, but the thing about it is, that's what makes you you and unique and beautiful. So you have to embrace who you are and accept who you are. And then your self-worth and your confidence will be able to be built. So love on all of you.
We interrupt this program to... I'm just kidding. Have you all ever heard anything like that, where it's like you're watching a show and then it's, we interrupt this programming? No, it was just me. Anyway, I just wanted to stop in really quick and, encourage you to share this out with someone that loves to read books, or is just wanting to write a book themselves. Soulful Liberations Author Talk is the show/podcast for you if you fall in any of those categories, or even if you're just bored and you're looking for something to do. So make sure you check us out too on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and you'll see this and other podcasts coming out soon. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this author talk with Dr. Deshunna Ricks, author of I Am Valuable.
Some self-care techniques that I put into writing the book. Actually, I wrote the book pretty fast. It took me, because it's a children's book and it's only 32 pages. So it really only took less than a week to write the book. And I'm not even bragging, because this is my story and I know what I wanted to say and the message that I wanted to convey to children. So, and actually I wrote the book 2 years ago. And there were some things that happened that I couldn't get it out 2 years ago. But this year, if we're going to talk about this year and practicing self-care, I decided to just relax and to make, my life about my peace and protecting my peace. And so that's what I've been doing this year, especially in the pandemic, is protecting my peace. My peace is very valuable to me. It matters to me. And so negativity, I block it out. Things that are not healthy for me, I've gotten rid of them. rid of them rather, and just relaxing more and enjoying the little things. I am grateful, so grateful for the little things like cold water. I love cold water. Just being grateful and thankful for things that we take for granted on a daily basis, like hot water, for shower. I love showers. And so those are some of the things that I practiced this year, just even releasing the book and knowing that, this book is really, really about overcoming and being resilient and being brave and having courage. And so those are things too to practice during self-care, having the courage to say no. Having the bravery to stand up for yourself, having the resilience to say, I can get over this. And those are self-care tips as well. If you are looking to write a children's book, first, I would advise you to know your audience, right? Who do you want to write to? What child, what type of children, and what geographical location? And then what message do you want to convey to children? What do you want them to hear? What do you want them to take away by the end of your book? What do you want them to think about after reading your book? What do you want them to discover while reading your book? Another thing that I would recommend is that you get you a great editor. And I'm an editor, by the way. Let me put a plug in. So get you a great editor who will read your book and review it and make suggestions so that you put the best product out. Another thing that I would recommend is that you decide if you want to self-publish or you want to go through a publisher. I took the self-publishing route because I just believe in myself, and I believe that I can push this book forward without, a major publisher on my side. And I want to make sure that my book stays true to what it is. Because some of the times when you go through publishers, you have to, compromise. And I'm not willing to compromise with my story because I'm the best narrator of my story and I know how to tell it really well. And so you have to decide on if you want to self-publish or go through a publisher. Another tip that I would recommend is just relaxing, not being overstressed or thinking about it too much. Make sure you confide in somebody that you can really trust in and allow them to give you. So those are the tips that I have and the things that I use for writing this book. I do have 2 more books that I'm going to write in the series. And so be looking out for those books. I'm really, really excited about that.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode on Soulful Liberations Author Talk. Again, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your favorite listening programs. Talk to you later. Peace.